Goodbye, I believe is Rashmika Mandanna's first Hindi movie slash Bollywood movie, and I'd say it's a fairly good debut because there is a long shot of her right at the start of the movie after the dance sequence, which personally I wasn't a big fan of. But after that, there is a long shot of her where the bartender shows up at her house to return her phone to her and informs her that her mom has passed away. It is a long take of her collecting the phone, going back to take some money, coming back, hearing the bad news, and then processing all of that information. And I think she conveyed her emotions wonderfully. The legend, the one and only Amitabh Bachchan is back on the big screen, and he doesn't even say much. And yet, his acting through his eyes, his body posture, and the little dialogues that he says with such gravitas in his voice, even those little things which may seem so tiny in his armory, were enough to bring small tears to my eyes. He incites such strong emotions within the audience that even entire movies fail to do sometimes. Now, it's a black comedy drama kind of movie, so there is a hodgepodge of emotions in it. But for the majority of it, I'd say it's a drama, which in certain parts excels when it comes to the satire, but also fails when it comes to furthering its own storytelling. For instance, they portray the different types of people at a funeral, and I think they do it very aptly without making it look forced. They show the kind of people that want to learn from someone's death. Like if someone has passed away, they'll be like, oh, I should work out now because taking care of your health is so important. They show people that want to one up the others that are attending the funeral. Oh, look at her earrings. Oh, mine are better. Or look at his shoes. Mine are better. Some people who want to crib about not being given a chair or not being given as much importance as others that are attending the funeral. Someone speaking to the pandit over the phone and trying to frantically obey all the instructions that he or she is being given. And the worst kind of people, the people who want to give advice after someone passes away. About, oh, this should be done in your house, or this should be done for 13 days, the gas should not be on, this should not be done, that should not be done. Just shut up! We're here to remember and celebrate someone's life, not listen to your advice about it. And I think that emotion was portrayed very well, and the entire audience felt it because everyone was laughing or either just cringing at what was happening on screen. But in a good way. The seamlessness with which the movie at times moves from the present to the past is beautifully done. There are shots that are made to be look like one take, but they're actually not. And it'll just look like someone is standing in the present, but the camera will revolve around them. And as you go to the other side, the event of the past has started. And I think those are beautifully integrated. However, I also felt that some scenes in the movie had unnecessary jokes. Like for example, the scene where Pavel Gulati reaches home and trips up on the stairs and lands immediately on his dead mother. It really wasn't necessary. Yes, it incited laughter, but it kind of took away from the seriousness of the scene. Also, a small request to movie creators: don't try and digitally de-age. If you either don't have the money or B, don't have the technology, it's really not necessary unless the story demands it throughout the movie. They tried to do it in Lal Singh Chadda despite a big budget, and they tried to do it in this movie as well, where it looks really off. There isn't much of a difference on Neena Gupta's face, but Amitabh looks like a completely different person. Trust me, if your emotions are right and if the story is good, people won't really crib about, oh, but he didn't really look younger. I think they kind of overdid the younger parts of this movie, even where relatively young actors are meant to look like college going or school going kids. They've just been dressed differently. They look the same. They're just wearing kids' clothes, and that looks very weird. So I'm sure there are other ways about it. You don't have to show us a visual representation. You have great actors on screen. They're all capable of great storytelling. Let them talk about it. I found the first half to be a lot of fun. It was high on emotion, high on comedy. It kind of made you look forward to the second half despite a weird interval block. But the second half kind of loses it for me because every time the screenplay tries to move forward, they force sadness and grieving into the storyline again. I genuinely believe that if all the kids had come over in the first half and the grieving part of it was, for the majority of it, dealt with in the first half, there would be so much more space for character building in the second half. Whereas that didn't really happen because every time they tried to go in a particular character's arc or further the story in general, the same grieving would start again. And while it is emotional every single time, it doesn't really do much for the story. However, the cast is great. Rashmika, Pavel, Amitabh Bachchan, of course, Neena Gupta in the few scenes that she has. I also feel extremely bad because there are so many shots of her just being carried around as a dead body. Amitabh Bachchan's monologue post the interval proves that he still, to this day, is one of the finest actors that this industry has seen, and maybe one of the finest actors in world cinema. Not that he has anything to prove at this age, his work ethic is amazing to look at, and his screen presence has not changed over the past 50 years or however long it is that he has been in this industry. I genuinely felt so many emotions. I was smirking, I was laughing, I had tears rolling down my eyes when he was giving his monologue. It was just beautiful. He's such an acting powerhouse. It's such a delight to watch him on the big screen. Despite all its flaws, this movie managed to do for me what Lal Singh Chaddha could not. It drove the emotions home for me. There actually were a few scenes in this movie where I had tears streaming down my eyes, and Lal Singh Chaddha couldn't do that. Maybe because I related to the characters more in this movie than I did in Lal Singh. Not to say that either of the movies were in competition with each other. I guess what I'm trying to say is that yes, it wasn't perfect, but it had all the right emotions. You can see it was made with a lot of love. Amit Trivedi's music, Swanand Kirkire's lyrics, as always, a winning combination. Chef's kiss every single time. So yeah, all in all, it was a cute movie. It had a great first half. It had an okay second half. There were a lot of emotions. Amitabh Bachchan was in great form. The supporting cast did well too. A little too long for my liking, but definitely worth a one-time watch. And yeah, that's it for the review, I guess. If you liked the review, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you thought about the movie down in the comments as well. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. I've recently started to try some vlogging if you find that interesting. Yeah, I'll see you soon for another video. Till then, take care. Peace.